Excuse my garage, it's a little messy. Today we're going to be building a Gabion style fire pit for under $60. So you only need some basic tools, a couple pairs of pliers, wire cutters, a couple of clamps to help you hold it together as you're wiring it, a marker, screw, some kind of string or twine, and a tape measure, and some wire mesh. We recommend not using galvanized or zinc coated mesh as it can fume as the fire pit gets hot, and it's not really good. It can make you feel sick. So get some bare steel if you can find it and you want the rusty look, or you can order this stainless steel version like we did off of Amazon for around $35. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to grab a straight edge here. You can use a ruler or anything straight. Get my corners. This doesn't have to be perfect, but helps us find the center so that when we're drawing our circles, we don't go off the table. So corner to corner, get your X. So in order to get some nice circles to work with, we're going to divide these two numbers by 2, which is our radius. So we need 12 and 18. So if you come over here, I've got my tape set out. We're going to mark 0 for our pivot point. We're going to come down to 12. And we're going to come down to 18. Now, take your screw and stick it through the center point. Hammer it in. I'm using a piece of drywall I had left over. You can use plywood. You can do this in the dirt if you want. Any place where you can hammer center in. Here's our center, 24. And we come out, 436. There we go. Now you can get rid of this guy right here. And this is what we're going to be using to form our metal around, make sure it's ready to go. Let's get some metal. So what we're going to be working on is we're going to use the natural roll of the metal to our advantage to make these circles by massaging them out into bigger circles. So we're going to roll some material out here. Try not to do too much at one time. Just going to give it a little massage like this. Starting to loosen up a little bit. You see here, I got a little bit of it carried away, and I got a little bit of a bend, which we'll straighten out. But that's why you want to take your time with it, massage it carefully, so you don't have a bunch of distortion in your final product. But it comes out pretty easy. Mark 113 inches on the floor from the starting line here. Give myself a couple extra. And I'll start it here. Huh? I'll poke you. Now that we've got our length cut, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to cut it down the middle. It's a little time consuming, but it's going to give us enough material for our outside ring and inside ring. We've got our outer ring cut at 115 inches, a couple inches over. And then this will be our inner ring. You'll notice that because we cut it along the wire, we've got this raw edge. We'll put this on our inside ring at the bottom, and there'll be rocks covering that anyway, so it's not a big deal. Now we're going to cut this down to size, and we'll be ready to start forming our circles. If you're comfortable with a 4-inch grinder, you can do this that way too. I just want to show you how to do it with minimal tools. Now we've got our inner ring. So for now, I'm going to put this to the side. You see, as we extend it out, we've got perfect circle for the inner and a little bit of overlap here for strength as we wire it together. What we're doing is wiring this on down, then we can reform it, make sure it's nice and round. You can use hog rings for this, but we wanted to show you how to do it. Some simple baling wire. Put yourself off a piece long enough that you can bend it easy. You can always cut the extra off after you twist it. So we'll get our first one set here. We'll line up. It's a nice and straight line there. Nice hook. Great idea to wear gloves when you're working with this stuff. Just twist it. Now be on the inside. Get a little tighter. Be a little careful when you're twisting this stuff. You could over twist it and break it. There's one. I'll throw a couple more on this side just so it retains its shape. It does help if you cross the corner. I didn't really do that on these ones. It allows them to move. Cross the corner like this. A nice twist. You're going to get a much tighter result. Now these are great for this. That's what they're for. And I'm no pro at these. I'm sure some fencer out there would tell me how horrible I'm doing, but you can use some lineman pliers. So if you find any little flat spots, stick it up on the table and just kind of roll it out with your hand or a board, a rolling pin. And we'll pull that together tighter as we start to lock it all in too. Get a nice circle. All right, get our other piece up here. For a second. You get these clamps at Home Depot or Lowe's usually for 99 cents. They're great for a lot of stuff. Highly recommend getting some. I'm gonna snip off these sharp edges. And when we cut this to length, got these long pieces. Look a little better without them. So that being said, that was one of our extra inches. Let's double check here. Roughly. And you cross the corners, your tie, pinch the wires, a nice twist. Try to make sure your wires are aligned as you tighten it so you don't crook it. Now that we've got our basic rings set up, we can set these to the little to the side. I'm going to make some straight pieces. We'll go in between here. Now that's going to lock the shape together. So these need to be massaged out mostly flat. Cut this raw edge off here because there's no way to attach to that. And since our ring here is going to be 6 inches, we're going to cut 6-inch pieces. One, two, three, four, five, six. Cut on the outside. Move around. Get a pair of these handy seamers at Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace, wherever. Or you can just use these pliers. But what we want to do is, these are going to go in like webs and support the structure. They'll be wired on both sides. We've got 5 of them. But we don't really want this showing at the top. So what we're going to do is turn down this bottom edge. Bend them to a 90. You use these. You can do it one at a time with these. So now, when we fill them with rock, you can cover that and you won't see it. Now that we got those bent up, we're going to cut some more tie wire pieces. I'm going to do 3 on each side, so that's 6. I've got 5 ribs, so I need 30 pieces. Pre-cut and bend them all so we can put this thing together. Make this easy. Consistent. Just Some 2-inch marks. I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. All right, now we've got our unit put together, one solid piece, and then we'll show you how to stack it with rock. Make sure it's not deformed and keep your nice circle. Excuse my garage, it's a little messy. Now, we don't recommend you put your fire pit under an airplane wing, but for the sake of being in the shade, that's what we're doing. All right, so we sourced some river rock from our local Bach store, just because some people don't have access to rocks at our house. We just go in the yard and pick them up. It's always good to source stuff locally. That's the cool part about a gabion, is that you can use minimal materials and has a really low carbon footprint. So we'll watch this thing transform into something cool right now. If you've got any old bricks or concrete or ugly rocks that you don't like, just go ahead and use that. Stack it in the bottom, out of the way. Just kind of hide this stuff in the middle. Cover it up, and then you don't have to worry about throwing it into a landfill. We hope this inspired you to go out and use some basic hand tools to make something that you can be proud of and enjoy with your friends and family. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We're very responsive. We'll be happy to help you out. And we'll see you next time.